Go to TAPgiles.com to learn dreams, engage my services, and support the channel.
So yeah, let's look at this one. Light or shadow detection demo. Is a demo of this thing. So it just has normal sunlight and it's casting that bluer shadow, and then it has this spotlight that's just animated above. So if I walk into the shadow, it knows I'm not in the light anymore. Now it knows I am in the sunlight, and it kind of assumes that any light, whether it's from the sun or from an actual light gadget, means you're in the light. So if I'm like standing here, either of them could be overlapping me and it would think I'm in the light. But if I go over here, then if I'm in shadow and the light gadget hasn't caught me, then it doesn't say I'm in the light. And then when the light gadget does catch me, then it says I'm in the light, as you'd expect. And then I've got this rigged up to, if I pull on R2, it just animates the sun around and it still works properly. And if I step my feet out, if I step so that my head starts poking out, it says that I'm in the light. And if I step over here so that only my feet are poking out, it also says I'm in the light, because it kind of checks from the head and the feet. And both of these use a similar kind of method, and none of it is hard-coded. It's all live, as you can see from like the sun moving and this light animating as well. And you can actually, if I copy this, you can see you can have another light, and that also works. So if I move the sunlight until it's dipping below the horizon, then it's kind of, it knows that the sunlight can't get to me, like that. And now if I go into this spotlight, it still knows I'm in the light, like that. So let's do one of those first. Let's put that there and have it pointing down. And I'm going to make a little sculpt just as like a handle. Like that. And then group them up. And now I can like move this around without seeing all the logic inside it. If you have a laser scope and you just put that at the back of the gadget of the light, that's actually where the light comes from. And you can see that here. You can see that's where the cone has the point. And we'll just point that down, which doesn't really matter, but and then have a range. Yeah, just make it longer, I guess. What you can do is like grab one of these and then open the light, and you can see how far down it goes. And we can turn off cast shadows if you want as well. But the main thing is seeing the gizmo, this cone shape. So that's the bottom of the cone shape. And then we can make sure that this reaches to the bottom of that cone shape, so that it reaches the length of the light. There we go. And we also want a trigger zone in here, which does a similar sort of thing, but actually has the cone shape. Now what do? We have that be a cone at the back of the gadget as well, pointing down, and you want that to be the same length, so that was like 12.5. And we need the same like width of it, but over here it's defined as a beam angle, and here it's like the X and Y. So if we just expand that out to be about the same, 9.1 for some reason, and then set this to 9.1 as well. There we go. So the cone matches the cone of the light. So so that would be enough to say, oh, the player is in that cone or something. Let's just stick a tag in here and call it player, and then this could look for the tag of player. Yeah, and then if we just use test mode, then while we're in that zone, it'll light up and stuff. But if it's blocked, if this was blocked by this, oh, it's not casting shadows, so turn the shadows on again. If it was in a shadow like that, then it would still say that we're in the light, because the trigger zone doesn't care that something's in the way. So we're in the shadow of it, but it still thinks we're in the light. So that's why we need this laser scope as well. That will also look for the player tag, like that. But that'll only happen if it's already in the zone. So if the zone detects the player, it looks for the laser scope, and now we just care about if it's hitting something. So we can say this only cares about scenery, and then just set these sculpts to scenery, which I've already done. As you can see here, that's scenery, and the ground is scenery as well, which is the problem. So if we just make that not scenery for now, then anything that you want shadow casting, then you'd set that as scenery, and then if this hits scenery, you know that it's hit the scenery before it got to the player. Yeah. So now we go here. Oh, we need to see if it's detecting something. So we want to watch this hit something thing. So it's lighting up because it's the tag is in the chip, so it's pointing at the chip. So we need to make sure that tag is somewhere useful, like the feet. And then try that again. So it's not hitting anything, so it means that the light is getting to it. And then now it's hitting the blocking sculpt, so we're in the shadow of that light. So this thing over here is lighting up and saying that we hit something. Cool. And now I'll just make a quick little thing over here, which says in light. Let's send out a signal when this has caught it, or this is actually when it's in shadow. So let's do a not gate, and then tell the world with a transmitter that it's in shadow. This is saying that it's in shadow, so for a not gate it's saying that it's in light. So I'll just say light. And now if I use a receiver, that will pair with the transmitter of the same name, and doesn't matter where it is, so I'll put it in the scene zone, which just looks in the whole scene. And that will output a signal when that laser scope is outputting a signal, or when it's not outputting a signal. So yeah, so currently this isn't going to do anything. Let's just put that down like that. There you go. So the only light source we have is this light here. Let me just have a chip so we can organize this better. So because we placed this in a particular place, if we drag it in, it will remember that place and leave it there as well. So that's cool. So not gate, but we only want any of that to do anything if this is happening. So if we're in the cone at all, we'll power this, and then all the rest of this will work. And now when we go into the light, it says we're in the light. Yay! Now what if we are looking like that? So the light isn't coming straight down from above, and we just like creep into the light through the side like that, and it still works. And the shadows still work as well. So if we were standing over here, we'd be fine. And there's like a sliver of light over there, that's why it captures it. But if our feet kind of appear, then it says we're in the light. If we do it the other way around, so this peaks above the shadow, then we can stand down here and we're fine. But if we like peek above it, our head is clearly in the light, but it's only looking for that tag which is in the feet. So like that player tag is in the feet. We need another one in the head so that it can look for when we're in the head. So we can say head in light, like that. And let's move that up. Yeah, and then we can call this light. I guess it should be on, so on feet. And this will check for both of them, so, or either of them really. So this one will check for light on feet and light on head. Yeah, so cool. So if it's not hitting anything when it's looking towards the feet, then it's lit, and if it's not hitting anything when it's looking for the head, then it's lit. Yeah, so let's just do that. Okay. So it's still not finding it. Let's make sure what's going on. So the cone, the cone is looking for the player tag. So really we want it to look for the head or the feet. Light on the head, light on the feet. And if either of those are detected, then it'll check the shadows. So as the head creeps into the light, we get in the light, and as the feet creep into the light, we get in the light as well. So that's cool, that's all working.
Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something interesting. Go to patreon.com/TAPgiles to learn something new every day.